Hello, hello. Welcome back to Estela Lugo's channel. Today, we have something truly special for you. We're going to speak about art, but this time it's different kind of art. It's about architecture. To explain better this kind of or this concept, I have a special person here, a special guest. She is the architect Kasia. She started to her career in 2007 at Hamilton's Architects, and she was interviewed in 2018. She told me yes, for one of the magazines, the Architects magazines. Okay, I'm going to introduce you, Kasia. Hello, Kasia.
Hello, Stella.
Welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, I know, it's a pleasure for me. Okay, to start this interview, I would like to read some of the many definitions about art. This is just in general, basic, something basic. Say, art is the activity that expresses ideas, emotions, and a vision of the world. According to this definition, Kasia, do you think um, architecture is an art?
I think that it is. Definitely. I agree with the fact that art is architecture. Architecture is art. They are linked together. And architecture forms part of art, type of almost a fine art, if you may say that. If you think about historically, a lot of classical buildings, they
Yes.
have, pieces of art attached to architecture buildings, for instance, such as sculptures, emblems, so one cannot live without the other. That's what I believe.
Oh, it's good. It's good to know that. Kasia, I forgot something. Could you remember your surname, please?
Oh yes, of course. It's not that easy. It's Kasia Ziółkowska.
Kasia
Ziółkowska.
Zukowska.
It's my Polish surname.
Oh, okay. I forgot it. Okay. Thank you, Kasia. Another thing, continue with the architecture. How art enhances architecture?
Well, art can enhance architecture in a way. For instance, a very common example is if you create a building, you create a space. And you need space for art. You need space for living. You need space for existing, basically.
Yes.
So art, definitely, needs, an area. So atriums, lobbies, galleries. For instance, if you're designing a building and you need big space, you put a sculpture there, and that enhances architecture. And then, again, as I said in the beginning, that one works with the other.
Oh, okay.
So art definitely enhances architecture.
It definitely is art
Absolutely.
as well. Yes, it's lovely. In artistic architecture, who is the most prominent architect for you?
For me, without the shadow of a doubt, it has to be Antoni Gaudi. So you probably have heard of him. He's a Spanish architect, very, very famous. Very well known for his architecture in Barcelona. He was very known for his organic use, and again, is architecture, but it's combined very closely with art. He was very fascinated by using ceramics, colors, organic shapes, and forms, and he was somehow, he kind of had his way of designing, almost working off the grid, because he didn't really create that many architecture drawings, because he liked to work with the building, treating it almost as a sculpture.
Kasia, do you think we can see some image about him, about his job, and to explain us, because the architecture, I didn't know anything.
Yes, of course, with pleasure. I mean, I think you might be able to see the image now on the screen. So this is an example of, this is a big building. It's a cathedral in Barcelona. It's called Sagrada Familia. It was a project that started around 1880s. That was actually started with a different architect, and Gaudi took over shortly after the project. I mean, this project has been, it's a never-ending project, really. So this project is under construction until now. I actually had a pleasure to be there when I was a student of architecture. I was actually in my, I think it was my second or third year, and I had a pleasure to be there, and it's absolutely fascinating, the amount of detail, you know, organic forms, and as I said, pieces of art that are actually part of that architectural gem. And it's a fascinating building, and I do recommend, you know, whoever is in Spain, in Barcelona, it's a must see, you know, a piece of architecture.
Is definitely we need to go to visit that place.
Yes, absolutely, because it's not just the scale of the building; it's just the amount of detail and the arrangement, you know, of the church itself. You know, the amount of towers that they have, and it's just something incredible that, you know, it must be seen in real life.
Okay. Do you have another job of him, another image about him?
Yes, there is
interesting.
There is very fascinating project that he also did in Barcelona, and is Park Güell. Now that it's a combination of architecture, art, and landscape design. So obviously, as the name has it, it's a park. And it's almost like a theme park. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's full of colors. He's just using immense amount of ceramic and balustrading made of, you know, solid walls, and just covered with different colors and recycled ceramic. So again, it's beautiful. He's using, as I said, you know, he's a fan of organic sculptures. You know, he has animal sculptures, you know, embedded within the pieces and architecture in there. And it's just a really fun place to be and just enjoy. And you can just spend, you know, an entire day in there. So I really, really recommend that one as well. It's absolutely beautiful because it's not just the architecture. It's actually shows the entire area, public area, and how it blends with the city. Yes. That's what is very fascinating about his work.
Yes. I read something about him. I saw some image, beautiful, really. And like you said, that is a real artistic architect, because it's a lot of colors, like you said. Absolutely. I love the colors, full of colors.
Absolutely, yes.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And animals, buildings, and different things.
Exactly, lovely. Absolutely.
Another one,
there is one more also in Barcelona. It's called Casa Batlló. Now that house, it's a residential building.
But it's in the screen?
It should be on the screen now.
But, okay, yes.
So you should be able to see the facade of the building. And again, this is coming back to the organic form and the fact how he actually worked with the building, like sort of being almost off the drawing, that, you know, using the building as a sculpture. You can see, you know, the moldings around the windows, you know, the curvature of the reveals of the window, how the balcony is formed. You know, everything is very organic, and it's almost like there's no, even though from the distance it looks like it's a repetition, but, you know, everything is almost, different.
Different. What is the name of that sculpture, the house? So that is a house, it's a building.
It's a house. It's a house. So effectively, it was an apartment block. So it's effectively sandwiched between other buildings, you know, on a high street. You see, so you have basically, it's a few story building, so it is an apartment block. And actually, that's another building that I managed to see as well. So it's absolutely incredible, because it's not just the building itself, but he actually designed everything inside, from you know, window frames to door frames, handles, sinks. So everything blends with the house, you know. So he designed absolutely every single little piece and every single piece of art that, you know, goes with the house.
I thank you for the explanation. Lovely to know more about this wonderful artist. This is a Spanish artist.
Absolutely, yes.
In Barcelona. I need to go to see his art.
Definitely.
Okay. Where are you from? You told me.
Yes, I'm originally from Poland. I was born in Poland, but I've been living in the UK, in London, most of the time, for over 20 years. So I actually spent half of my life in Poland and half of my life here in London. By now.
It's good. Where did you study architecture?
So I started actually my education in Kensington and Chelsea College many years ago. I just did my quick foundation in there before I got into Greenwich University. So I did my diploma and my bachelor degree at Greenwich University. And then a few years after, I have done my professional qualification at the Architecture Association in London. Because architecture, it does take time to actually get to the stage where you are a qualified architect. It's a lengthy architecture course. So it's split in 3 parts. The first part is the bachelor degree. That takes about 3 years to do that. Then you move into your part 2, which is your diploma. And then after that, you can choose as well to go and do a work placement for a year, which is something I did between my part 1 and part 2. That automatically extends the process of your education. And once you do that and you want to become a professional architect, and if you want to call yourself an architect, then you do your professional qualification.
About that, I think we're going to speak in the next episode, because it's interesting to know all this you said, the 3 blogs and qualifications, since I don't know what is here in UK.
Yes.
That is, I think it's in the next episode, because I am not sure we have enough time. It's my pleasure to have you here with me, really.
Likewise. I'm really happy to be here with you and share with you guys as well, art and architecture, and what is the connection between art and architecture.
Good. For now, I think we're going to finish this interview, but the next episode, we will continue with Kasia, the architect. She is really, for me, I read about her in the interview, one of the best here in UK. Thank you to you for watching us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for everything. And I will see you in the next episode. Okay? Bye for now.